This program is co-sponsored by
Driving a BMW X3.
HD Kumaraswamy thanks supporters and coalition partners for what he described as a successful 100 days. BJP, however, didn't share that sentiment, slammed the Chief Minister over no work done in terms of development. Bottled drinking water found contaminated at a wedding in Tumkuru. Water found with worms and other sediments and served at the wedding. Writer and activist Varavara Rao has been brought to his Hyderabad home, where he will be under house arrest until the 5th of September. This came after Supreme Court's ruling. And petrol and diesel gets dearer. 80 rupees 99 paise per litre for petrol in Bengaluru. Hello and welcome to News 9. I'm Nikhil Vasuki. First up, high drama was witnessed in front of the Karnataka Film Chamber of Commerce. That's the latest that we've just come to learn. Director and producer of Kannada movie Arohana were involved in a heated argument. Let's just take a quick look. Now, according to sources, film producer Sushil allegedly had an affair with the heroine of the film, which triggered the argument. This argument was seen at the KFCC office, just outside the KFCC office at Shivananda Circle. High drama outside the Karnataka Film Chamber of Commerce office. Big news coming in from the political front. R.V. Deshpande reacts on Chief Minister Kumaraswamy's statement on him becoming the Chief Minister. Deshpande said, "I may have the eligibility to become Chief Minister, but haven't got an opportunity." Chief Minister Kumaraswamy had said that even R.V. Deshpande is desiring to become Chief Minister. So this is a reaction that R.V. Deshpande said to a statement made by Kumaraswamy earlier when questioned about his reaction to Siddaramaiah wanted to become the Chief Minister. He said that, look, everybody has an aspiration, everybody has the intent to want to become the Chief Minister. So did R.V. Deshpande, to which R.V. Deshpande had a reaction.
ನೋಡಿ ಹಾಗಲ್ರಿ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನನ್ನ ಅರ್ಹತೆನೂ ಇರಬಹುದು ಅದು ಅವಕಾಶ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನನಗೇನು ಗ್ರೌಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅರ್ಹತೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನನಗೇನು ಗ್ರೌಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೇಳಿದೇನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಅವಾಗ ನಾ ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ.
Let's listen to what HD Kumaraswamy had said earlier that prompted this response from R.V. Deshpande.
ನನ್ನ ಅರ್ಹತೆನೂ ಇರಬಹುದು.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದೇಶಪಾಂಡೆ ಅವರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನನಗಿಂತ ಹಿರಿಯರಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವರು ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಬಯಕೆ ಕೆಲವರಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥೈಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನನ್ನ ಅಭಿಪ್ರಾಯ. ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ.
Arun Sundaram joins me on the phone right now. Arun, is it fair to say that much ado is being made about a speech from Siddaramaiah last Friday, that it has just gone on to compound to many more responses?
Well, that's one way of looking at it, Nikhil. But honestly, the the icing on the cake, if you were to be a politician, is becoming the chief minister of a particular state. And if you're perhaps a man who's large enough to be a national politician, you want to become the prime minister of this country. There's nothing wrong about it. The question is, a person having this desire, he will need to get the backing of everyone. And clearly, it seems to be a case where more is merrier. That's one way of looking at it. Or to say that, look, these are the people who are probably in the race. Not that others are not. They're probably in the race. If given an opportunity, they're willing to assume the top job. But will it come their way? Will they be able to get that all elusive consensus, not just within the party, but even from outside the party, in case you're talking of a coalition kind of a government? So all those issues need to be highlighted, but the fact remains that today each and every one who is a politician of a particular stature is seen as being an aspirant for the top job, Nikhil.
Arun, is this fair to say that this is an issue of perception that may be getting created with a lot of these responses coming out, R.V. Deshpande being the latest? Now, there hasn't been any back and forth commentary between individuals about each other, but some sort of backhanded comments seem to have come out as well. Is there a problem in perception of the coalition?
It could be a case where what we call as perception is being deliberately peddled out as perception. There may be an intent. You can't rule that out. I mean, to say that a politician doesn't desire to be the chief minister, the prime minister of the country, or the chief minister of the state is perhaps an understatement. The question is the statement that you're making very appropriate? Because you are right now seeing a different kind of a political structure in place. And more importantly, what does it try to send out by way of a message? Because remember, there could be an instance where perhaps your own partner, the partner in the coalition, could feel upset, could feel miffed that you had one or two people make these comments. Now it seems to be that everyone is making these comments. So it could probably be something that could undermine the functioning of the government itself, Nikhil, and that could be a very undesirable trait, to say the least.
All right, Arun, I do request that you stay on the line with me because we do have more big news coming in. R.V. Deshpande, that's for Siddaramaiah, and stated that Siddaramaiah is not such a person who would make irresponsible statements. Siddaramaiah's statement has been blown out of proportion. The coalition government has Siddaramaiah's support. Again, what statement is it? Last week in Holenasipura, in a public gathering, Siddaramaiah answered a question posed to him about whether he'd like to be chief minister again, which he replied in the affirmative, which he later clarified, saying that if at all the opportunity and the blessings of the people comes to him in 2023, he would take up that position. So it does appear, coming back to you, Arun, it does appear that R.V. Deshpande is saying exactly what we have been talking about. The fact that this is just a comment that seems to have been blown out of proportion as well. It was not necessary. So R.V. Deshpande is also coming up with that, with a similar defense, so to speak.
Well, obviously, remember, Deshpande is one of the, in fact, he's the oldest among the legislators in the state. He has a reputation of his own, and he has the backing of several leaders. And this particular statement, where he is seen as batting for the former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, is a kind of an endorsement of the fact that yes, there are lots of people, particularly the Congress leadership, who still perhaps aspire for the former Chief Minister to have control of the reins of affairs at the top. And given an opportune time, probably they wouldn't be open to the idea of backing him. But is that going to happen tomorrow morning? Is it going to happen 1 month down the line? Is it going to happen 3 months down the line? Or do we have to wait for the entire complement of about 4.5 years to get completed? That's only something that time can tell. But clearly, there's nothing wrong per se in perhaps endorsing somebody's leadership, Nikhil.
Thank you, Arun, for joining us with those insights. Now, some more big news coming in. This time round, it appears H.D. Kumaraswamy has complained to Rahul Gandhi about Siddaramaiah. That is what sources are indicating, and he reportedly told Rahul Gandhi if there is any problem for the coalition government, then it would be because of Siddaramaiah. That seems to be the latest that has just come out. H.D. Kumaraswamy has lodged a complaint with Rahul Gandhi about Siddaramaiah. This is what sources are indicating. If there is any problem to the coalition government, then it would be because of Siddaramaiah. This is what H.D. Kumaraswamy has reportedly told Rahul Gandhi. Siddaramaiah's statement from last Friday has certainly not gone down too well in many quarters and has been seen as indicative of a lack of confidence in the coalition. Kumaraswamy has sought to address this issue directly with AICC President Rahul Gandhi. It appears that there is no clarity as yet as to how the AICC President is intending to deal with this particular situation. But certainly the water has a lot of ripples, especially in light of Siddaramaiah's comment from last Friday, where in the affirmative he responded to a question of whether he'd like to be Chief Minister again. There were many words in the grapevine that suggested that he may want to replace CM H.D. Kumaraswamy in the interim period that the coalition government is running. But eventually, there were clarifications that came in that if at all he'd like to be the Chief Minister, it is after the completion of the full 5-year term of the coalition government. Not any time before that. There is absolutely no intent to shake the tree and allow for Kumaraswamy to fall out of the Chief Minister's chair. Now, there appears to be a rift within the Congress over the appointment of a second KPCC working president. At least that's what sources are indicating. Parameshwara and D.K. Shivkumar are looking for the appointment of another KPCC working president. Again, this is source-based information that is suggesting that the Shivkumar and Parameshwara camp want a leader from the Wakkaliga community to be appointed. G.C. Chandrasekhar's name has been proposed for the post of the second KPCC working president post, the first one being occupied by Ishwar Khandre. G.C. Chandrasekhar is a close aide of the Deputy Chief Minister, Parameshwara. So now it remains to be seen what decision is being taken, firstly at the KPCC level, and then this will of course require the Congress Working Committee's ratification before any direction could be taken in this regard. It does appear that the Parameshwara Shivkumar camp within the Congress is seeking a Wakkaliga member of the KPCC to be appointed as the second working president of the KPCC, and the fingers are pointing towards G.C. Chandrasekhar, a close aide of Parameshwara, with the likelihood of him being proposed as KPCC working president. Now, on the completion of 100 days, Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy has tweeted thanking people for supporting his government wholeheartedly. While this was the story from one side, BJP had another version. BJP chose to take a dig at the coalition government, saying the government had done nothing. Let's just take a look quickly at the Chief Minister's note of thanks, where he thanked coalition partners, the leaders and the people for supporting the government wholeheartedly. He also said he thanks the public and private sector, as well as volunteers and the media for generously contributing to the Chief Minister's Calamity Relief Fund and joining hands with the government in rescue and rehabilitation work. But in response, here is the tweet from BJP's Karnataka wing. BJP said that the government had achieved absolutely nothing in the last 100 days and that the Chief Minister was busy in only shedding tears. So, back and forth, it does appear that firstly, the BJP has written back. There hasn't been much of a response as of yet from either the JDS or the Congress or any sympathizer of the coalition. But the BJP's tweet has certainly garnered a fair bit of interest, questions especially along the lines of cabinet expansion, the full waiver of farm loans, which is a disputed topic as of its implementation, and the fact that there are still a lot of projects that remain underway but not completed. Some have even stopped, some have not even started. And the promises of this particular coalition government has been criticized. We'll now step in a short break. More news and updates are on the other side. Stay with us.
प्योरिटी के 100 से अधिक नेशनल व इंटरनेशनल पैरामीटर्स पर खरा पतंजलि हनी अपनाएं और प्योर हनी के नाम पर 250 ग्राम हनी पर ही 52 से 95 रुपए तक बचाएं।
पतंजलि प्योरिटी की 100% गारंटी।
Years later, you won't remember the meetings, the official memos. What you'll remember is joy. This festive season, own a BMW with the 360 plan. Joy starts now.
Welcome back. Big news coming in. State Congress leaders plan a mega campaign against the misuse of electronic voting machines in polls. That's the latest coming in. State Congress leaders are planning a campaign against misuse of EVMs. A campaign planned against the use of EVMs as Lok Sabha polls are coming closer. Congress state leaders to exert pressure on High Command to give a nod in this regard. Congress leaders plan to hold a campaign in 8 states. Congress leaders Vinay Kulkarni, Basavaraj Rai Reddy and others have expressed apprehension over EVM tampering. That's the latest coming in. A campaign planned against the use of EVMs as the Lok Sabha polls near, stating that EVMs are not completely foolproof and are not averse to tampering. Vinay Kulkarni, Basavaraj Rai Reddy and others are among those who have expressed their apprehension. T. Anil Kumar, Congress spokesperson, joins me on the phone right now. Anil Kumar, a very good afternoon to you. Now, we understand that there is some apprehension, at least from the Congress side, over the use of EVMs. Can you elaborate on that?
Good afternoon, Nikhil. Thank you for taking me on the call. Yes, we, the whole India and all the political party are looking for a transparency in the elections because it's a mandate which will be given by the people of the democratic country. So we have to respect their, view. And second thing, that view has to be transparent and it has to be clear. So when we tell it is to be clear and transparent, we really feel there is some sort of a tampering which is happening in quite elections that we have faced. So we strongly feel, yes, we have to take some sort of a step for this and move forward because the views of when we go in the ground reality, the people's view is totally different. But we are wondering why this view is not really converting to us as a vote. Point number one. Point number two, we have seen instances that coming in the market, like, people are sharing us the live videos, how the tampering can happen and how tamperings were done earlier, which were being used as a temporary machines by third-party agencies, and they're trying to clearly indicate how these tamperings are happening and why a large party like us is not taking action against it, and that is another thing. And when we see these kind of things happen, this is actually a weapon which is strongly hit for a democratic country like us when tampering are going to happen. So we strongly recommend election commission not to take this as the next level of measuring tool for any election which is taken place from here onwards. So we have been even giving so many recommendations or so many requests to the election commission for these kind of tamperings may happen. We have given so many things earlier, but the reason why they were not being able to do because of the time constraint. Now still the election commission still have not announced any time for the parliamentary elections. We have gone ahead and tried telling them why don't you please consider ballot papers as an option and utilize maybe another technology which can count the ballot papers as fast as the EVMs.
Well, at this point I have a question, Anil. The very fact that transparency is a big concern over here. The voter verified paper audit trail, or the VVPAT, was also brought in. Is that not a satisfactory measure of transparency?
See, yes, it's a very good question, Nikhil. See, what happens is when we talk about the VVPATs, if you look at how the elections are held in the countries, so if EVM goes with the EVM pads, so the EVMs and the EVPATs which are being sent by the election commission to the booths are not being very, very clearly measured. In the sense out of there is about 100 EVM machine goes to one particular city out of one particular constituency, for example, only one EVMs are tested, not all 100 in front of the booth agents there. So now what happens is, of course, it is a random pick. I'm not denying it. But here what happens is we don't know which is the random number that we have chosen. And whenever we see some sort of a defect in that machines, they are only changing that. They are not changing or not, they are cross-verifying all the EVMs or the EVM pads. So here the concern what we have is very simple. The most forwarded countries large countries countries like Russia or in certain places even US is not actually getting into the EVM machines. Why a country like us has to get into the EVM machines and get into a trouble? So, and end of the day, the elections are conducted to give some sort of a clear indication to the whole nation that the people still believe in the democracy. And if we are not able to hold on to it, then what basis that we are calling it as a democratic country and how the people's public opinion can be brought onto the papers?
Sure, Anil, so, I request that you stay on the line because I also have BJP spokesperson J.N. Hegde on the phone. Mr. Hegde, thank you for joining us and a very good afternoon to you too. Your response to the Congress's plan to call for removal of the EVMs or a review of the EVMs as well, stating that they are highly compromisable. How would you respond? Mr. Hegde, are you with me? Mr. Hegde, can you hear me? We will try to get back to J.N. Hegde shortly. Anil Kumar, coming back to you, the Election Commission has also said that we have no issues with the way the EVMs are functioning. So there's no question about it being compromised. How would you respond to what the Election Commission has been maintaining? Anil, are you with me?
Hello. I am with you. Hello.
Yeah, Anil, real quick.
Is it audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So what I'm saying is we do respect the view of Election Commission and we do respect. But only thing is Election Commission has to be, need to be run on the facts and has to be run on certain, clear-cut views which are being there, which are being kept to them.
Right.
So what we strongly feel is today the Election Commission is there for the people's mandate or for the people's view. Like, it is not for the view what Mr. Modi or Mr. Amit Shah actually looks into. So we strongly feel like, why is Election Commission so skeptical about looking at the EVM machines?
Right.
And like, why are they not looking into the ballot papers, how the ballot paper technology can be, revamped or probably like, rethought, and like how better, how faster and how quicker the your ballot papers can be counted. Why are they not thinking in that direction?
Understood. Anil, let me get a BJP response on this. GN Hegde is on the line with me. Mr. Hegde, can you hear me? Mr. GN Hegde, can you hear me?
Yes.
Right. Mr. Hegde, your response to Congress wanting to have EVMs removed or reviewed at the very least because they can be compromised. How do you respond?
See, since 2014 Lok Sabha elections, Congress has been suffering a series of electoral reversals. Congress has lost so many elections, one after another. Whenever they lose elections, they demand that the EVM should be changed. See, this is the Election Commission. So that is fully a constitutional autonomous body. Even they have invited parties also to prove whether anything can be tampered with. No expert could so far prove that EVMs can be tampered with. So the fair and free elections are being held throughout the country. It is not the first time now since 2014 or so. Moreover, these EVMs were introduced during the UPA regime when Mr. Veerappa Moily was the minister in charge of that. So they are now expressing their doubts because they are losing everywhere. So there is no point in going to the demand they are being made by the Congress party. Even the Congress has no trust either in the Election Commission or in the Supreme Court also. The Election Commission has invited all the representatives of the political parties to come to the Election Commission and prove whether it can be tampered with. None of them could prove it so far. All the experts so far have said this. These EVMs cannot be tampered with. They are tamper-proof also. Moreover, VVPAT has also been introduced to their satisfaction, to the satisfaction one and all. Now they are demanding that EVM should be changed or whatever they want. It is for the Election Commission, which is completely an autonomous body, constitutional body. They must have trust in the Election Commission. Otherwise, because they are facing defeat, see, one after another, they are making such demands.
So you're saying, in a nutshell, that this is a case of sour grapes? This is what you're saying?
No, see, see, moreover, the UPA government has introduced EVM. Then also they have taken all the Election Commission and the government have taken all the care that it can't be tampered with.
Right. Let me get Anil Kumar. Let me get Anil Kumar of the Congress to
change their tune. Now they are doing. They are just demanding.
Just a moment, Mr. Hegde. While you're speaking about this, let me get Anil Kumar to also respond to it. Anil, it appears that there is an accusation.
I heard.
You heard everything. Go ahead and respond.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do even respect Mr. views of Mr. Hegde, and as he rightly told, it is an autonomous body which is being elected or it is being selected by the government of India. End of the day, or like we do respect all the Supreme Court's view, and we do respect all the autonomous body which is there in the country. And second thing, we are actually coming to this conclusion today of why not EVMs is only because after seeing the series of allegations which are being done by the third party views. And like when as he rightly said, like the EVMs was introduced in our tenure. We do understand it is it is being done in our tenure. We are not denying it. But only the reason here why we are looking at this earlier in our tenure, we have never come these kind of allegations by the public or by BJP, which has been faced these kind of issues. So today when we see these kind of issues which are coming in their tenure, that's the only reason why we are telling, because there is no other substitute which can be complemented for EVMs. The only thing what we can do is we have to go back to the ballot papers and run the elections. Why is Mr. Hegde or BJP so skeptical of getting into the ballot papers? Why are they so nervous? So if they are very confident that they have done a fair and decent job to the society and the public of this country, they should be fair enough to take any such kind of challenges as the Election Commission takes an action.
All right, point taken.
So very skeptical about?
Point taken, Anil Kumar. Thank you for your opinion on this, and I also want to thank G. N. Hegde for speaking about this as well. Well, it does appear that this argument may not see a complete end as of yet. As of now, it does appear that this is still a view from the Karnataka Congress. Whether there will A, be a go-ahead from the AICC, that remains to be seen, and B, how will the Election Commission respond? How will the opposition respond in this instance? Well, that's a wrap on this edition of the Bulletin. Up next is a News 9 special. Stay tuned.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Hot and Spicy with me, Neha. Nandamuri Hari Krishna was the son of a famous actor and the father of famous actors. He was also a young hero amidst all these. His stint in films was limited, but he delivered a few blockbusters and had his own legion of fans. Here is looking back at Nandamuri Hari Krishna's legacy in films. The Nandamuri family and Telugu-speaking community woke up on Wednesday to hear the shocking news of Hari Krishna's death. The 61-year-old actor turned politician's car met with an accident near Nalagonda in Telangana around 6:30 a.m. and Nandamuri Hari Krishna was thrown out of his car.